This is titled Change Your Profile Picture to Clippy. I'm serious. From Louis Rossmann, who is an amazing YouTuber, if you're not familiar with him. Love this guy from New York and very authentic, down to earth. I've been seeing Clippy profile pictures in many comment replies on my videos lately. And I was very confused about this. So I figured we'd dive into what the hell is even going on with it. So let's see what Louis has to say about why we need to talk to Clippy here.
Listening to the Facebook whistleblower hearings with Senator Josh Hawley a few months back, one of the elements that stuck out to me was when they were talking about how if an underage girl has deleted a selfie, Meta keeps track of this because they know that this person likely has low self-esteem at that moment that they deleted a picture of themselves, which means that they may be more apt to purchase something from an advertiser of a cosmetic product.
Wait,
and I
what?
think about this within the context.
Hold on. I feel like he's talking way too fast right now. Playback speed is normal. I need to start over. I'm sorry. I'm like, wait, that was a lot of information you just dropped right there. Hold on.
A few months back, one of the elements that stuck out to me was when they were talking about how if an underage girl has deleted a selfie, Meta keeps track of this because they know that this person likely has low self-esteem at that moment that they deleted a picture of themselves, which means that they may be more apt to purchase something from an advertiser of a cosmetic product. And I think about this within the context.
That is fucking crazy. Think about the levels of evil that marketing goes into just to make a sale. They don't give a shit about you or what it does to you or anything. They just want to make that sale. Always be closing. Holy crap.
Text of what companies used to get in trouble for and what they do, or more importantly, don't get in trouble for today. I grew up in the 90s, a time when Microsoft had hell and fury fall down upon them because they bundled a web browser with their operating system. Whether you think this is a good idea or not, I personally think that a web browser being installed in every single person's computer that's standards non-compliant, that is so bad that you can literally get a virus from visiting a website, has its problems. But when you look at what it is that companies got in trouble for in the 90s, it just doesn't hit the same when you look at what companies get away with now. I remember having a Dell Dimension 233 back in the day, and if you wanted to get the one that had slightly better graphics, they would give you a free installation of Microsoft Office. And with Microsoft Office back in the day, it came with Clippy. Whether or not you like Clippy and whether or not you liked Microsoft Office or having an operating system that had the browser built into it that could easily get you a virus when you visited other websites that were trying to invade your privacy, the one thing that you could say, unlike Facebook, who is trying to profit off of young girls that feel suicidal, Clippy simply wanted to help. He might have been annoying, but he just wanted to help. There were no ulterior motives. If you told Clippy that you were having a bad day, he wasn't going to use that information to try and figure out which advertiser to sell you to, nor was he trying to steal your personal data or get you to purchase other Microsoft products. He had no ulterior motives. He was simply there to help. Unlike many...
I think I know where he's going with this. It's pretty straightforward.
Modern pieces of software, like what you get from Adobe or Intuit, where you can't buy QuickBooks anymore. You can't buy a video editor anymore. You have to pay a subscription fee for it. If I were to boot up that computer that has not been used for 28 years and I wanted to start up Microsoft Word, I could do so without connecting to the internet. And yes, Clippy would still be there, happy and enthusiastic as ever, simply wanting to help.
This is actually part of what's contributed to the downfall of technology, ironically, is the search for infinite money and the subscription model that has taken over like a complete virus to business because they realized things were getting so good that they could not continue to make infinite money. So they're like, before we make our next rendition of this, when it comes to the pinnacle, nothing will ever be better than this. We should probably scale it back and be like, how do we make this a monthly subscription? Because once it's perfect, no one's going to keep buying shit from us in the future. And yes, video games have taken the same approach. Kind of going back to the whole stop killing games thing. It's like, we aren't falling for that shit anymore. We want to purchase the game. And yes, it's going to be perfect. It's going to be great. You'll get our money. Otherwise, get out of here with that. Fascinating. Fascinating. How many people out there purchased Microsoft Office from 20 years ago and they're like, why do I need to buy it again? I bought it. What? Wait, I need to pay monthly for it now? Why? I bought it before. Why do I need to buy it again and pay monthly for this shit? Just give me the same version I bought 20 years ago. That worked fine. I don't need all this extra bells and whistles. I don't need any of this. Just give me what I bought before. And they don't do that.
Adobe is another example of this. This is a company that tried to twist people's arms into having AI and machine learning stuff go through their personal data. Not public data, not the speeches that I give, not my website or my
the other day too with Adobe, going through cloud data and banning people.
blog posts or my videos, but my private data, the stuff that I'm editing. And there were people that were not able to get into their account until they agreed to this new end user license agreement. When they are looking for access to your data, they're doing so because they want to train an AI on how to do what you do without paying you.
Well, they also want to snoop on you and ban you for things that may not be okay with them, which still blows my mind. But
without your consent. Clippy simply wanted to help. When Clippy would ask you if you wanted help with writing your letter, Clippy wouldn't even read the contents of your letter. He just wanted to offer suggestions. Game of Thrones had, I'm not, spoiler alert, there's this Sons of the Harpy in season 5. They were these people that wore masks and they pushed back against the new regime. And the purpose of the mask was to let the leaders know that when you see people with this mask, we are against you and your new regime, and we are going to push back against it as often as we can. And the worry with the Sons of the Harpy mask is that it starts with one person putting the mask on. And then somebody else gains the balls to put the mask on. And then 20 or 40 or 100 of them put the mask on. And once 100 or 1,000 of them put the mask on, there's nothing that the leaders can do at that point. Enough people have put it on, and enough people have come together with solidarity, and they're going to do something about it. Now, granted, this may not be the best analogy because it was.
No, I love this idea. This is amazing. Like, it's a call to action to the community to be like, I'm done with this bullshit. Stop it. This is enough. This is amazing.
Spoiler alert, they were trying to bring back slavery, and they also were just bad people. Khaleesi kind of became a shitbag at that point, too. But besides, I think that Clippy is like a modern day Sons of the Harpy mask. If you're tired of companies changing the terms of the sale after the sale and getting away with it, turn your profile photo to a Clippy. If you're tired of companies that have the ability to reach into your house and ransomware your products, that they stop working unless you pay them again, claiming that that's legal. But then when somebody tries to give you back access to what you bought and paid for, that's illegal. Change your profile photo to a Clippy. If you're
this happened to me. I bought I believe it was a Neat desk organizer. One of those, it was like before the scanners were big. You could buy a Neat desk organizer, scan receipts, scan tax stuff, do all the scanning. And it would go into the Neat app. And it was fine. Everything was great. And then one day, Neat had an update, and it required purchasing a monthly plan to be able to access Neat. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I just need to be able to scan my receipts and save them onto my computer like I always have. And like, sorry, Neat was purchased by another company, and the other company has changed how they operate it. And now it's a monthly service model where you need to purchase and pay every single month for Neat. I'm like, no, I already purchased the Neat desk organizer. I don't need to purchase a monthly plan now because that equipment was all in one bundle. And they're like, yeah, not anymore. The what was it called with Darth Vader? The terms have changed. Pray I do not change them further, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? My terms have changed. Pray do I not change them further? Something like that. That was Neat. That's what they did to me. And forever, I've always been very weary of, no matter what you buy, in the future, there are no laws or rules against them just changing. There we go, Sable Fox. Thank you. I am altering the deal. Pray I do not alter it any further. Thank you. Thank you very much. But ever since that moment in my life, I've been like, I don't trust companies as far as I can throw them, because there are no rules, no laws. It's the Wild West when it comes to creating a business product, purchasing it, and just believing the company is going to be there, and they're just not. And you would think, oh, maybe after 20 years, they go out of business, it's not supported anymore, whatever. But after like 5 years, 3 years, 1 year, what? This is insane. No laws, nothing to stop it. That needs to change. And again, goes back to stop killing games. There needs to be laws, not just on games, but on products that you purchase outright.
Tired of sex bots invading the comment section on a regular basis, and their comments always posting with no problem, but your comments being censored even when you're not saying anything that bad.
Yes! Holy shit, yes! Do you guys have any idea how many people are in my comment section being like, why are my comments not posting? And I'm like, guys, I promise you, I am not deleting any comments. That is YouTube's filter. I'm not doing that. And then randomly you get these sex bots in there. It's like they go right through. You're like, what the hell?
Change your profile picture to a Clippy. If Google, being one of the premier data mining companies on earth, not being able to tell that little fucking cat with 2 pillows next to it that they try to make look like an ass so that thirsty young men click it as they normalize sex trafficking on the platform that doesn't allow you to express an opinion bothers you, change your profile picture to a Clippy and let them know that you're not happy. Clippy never tried to normalize sex trafficking. He just wanted to help. If you're tired of companies saying out loud that the reason they want to keep you from fixing what you bought and paid for is that may take money away from them, change your profile photo to a Clippy. I never expected to win the legislative battle. It would be nice if I did, but it was never something that I set as I need to do this or I'm a failure.
For those that are familiar with Louis Rossmann, like he got really famous on YouTube for pushing back against Apple to be able to fix Apple products. And there was a whole big lawsuit going on with all that. That's where he had his claim to fame. That's where I first found out about this guy. He's very intelligent when it comes to fixing the actual phone and device. And Apple was pushing back, being like, you're not allowed to do that. Only we are allowed to do that. Crazy. Right to repair. Exactly. Yeah.
Always hoped to do was win the cultural battle where all of you understand what's going on and you decide that enough is enough. If I ever have a chance in my personal life to push back against this, I will. You're maybe not going to send that email that you're supposed to send to Interso to tell them, oh, by the way, make sure this chip doesn't end up on Mouser.com. Here's an NDA, blah, 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 supplier agreement. Maybe you just forget to send that email. When there's a new consumer rights law that the senator that you work for is on the fence about supporting, and there's a lobbyist that's going to be against it that wants to have dinner. Whoops, maybe their invitation went to spam. I didn't see that. Sorry, boss. Maybe you quit before you create a fake paywall to test if your customers will pay again for what they already paid for. Or maybe when you send out that ransomware firmware update paywall to test.
The reset maker performs psychological experience on customers. Tato doubles down on bad decision, falsely flags, or views as defamation.
Test if your customers will pay again for what they already paid for. Or maybe when you send out that ransomware firmware update, you make it opt-in instead of opt-out. Whoopsie, if in some bizarro world it is actually illegal to make a thermostat work again, and this bastard of a CEO decides to try and get the individual in trouble, 10 cases to prosecute, only got time for 6. Maybe I just ignore this one. When a company CEO logs into their Slack and sees 10,000 Clippies looking back at them, what I hope occurs is that they intuitively understand that they no longer live in a world where they can get away with fucking over the consumer, that their employees, their partners are not going to be accomplices to this anymore, that they are alert and they are aware of what is going on, and they are going to politely but firmly push back against it. Every single one of those 10,000 people will be an obstacle to the anti-consumer practices and the anti-ownership practices, and it will no longer be another cog in the assembly line sending us all into a dystopia. There will be a moment where that one person who usually would not have a say in anything can be activated, and in that moment, keep the world from sliding further into a dystopia or help push it forward in the opposite direction. But we all have to get together. And the first step is making it public that we know what's going on. That starts with a Clippy. On YouTube, if you're with me, I ask that you change your profile picture to a Clippy. At work, change your Slack profile picture to a Clippy. If you work at the White House, don't take down the United States flag, but somewhere on the grounds, put up a flag of a Clippy. Clippy is a symbol that what used to be considered one of the worst annoyances in our life would now not only be welcomed, but for all of his flaws, celebrated as an idol. Because for all of these things that occur right now, where there is negative malice of intent, I want to take away what you own. I want to take this back. I want to get your data. I want to sell you to an advertiser when I know that you're crying. Clippy just wanted to help. And if you were to turn him on today, unlike most cloud bullshit, he'd still work. Hulu Foundation is going to be announcing the winners to both the Future Home Bounty and the Echelon Bikes Bounty within the next month. Us offering 5,000 here, 20,000 there. It pushes the ball forward. But at the end of the day, that does nothing in contrast to organizing all of you. We're happy to get the ball rolling, but for us to truly win, we need to show that if you push us, Clippy clips back. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video.
We also
What a banger video. God, I love this guy. I don't know about the end result with this and if it's going to actually do anything, but I love the idea of it. I love the idea of it, and just to see the amount of people that feel the same way about Like it starts a movement. It gets a conversation going. Will it change anything? Maybe. I don't know how, but maybe there'll be somebody up in business that has the balls to be like, yeah, this is the problem. And we're going to address this. We hear you, and we are changing how we operate our business to make the best product for you without trying to extort additional money in the future from you. I think at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. And I'm definitely on board with that. Netflix says, you love him because he's a real New Yorker. They would always tell it to you straight. That's true. Ironically, I hate New Yorkers because I love New Yorkers. Now, remember, I'm from Boston. So it was always growing up like Yankees suck, Red Sox rule. I always clash with New Yorkers. But I went to college with one of my best friends from the Bronx. I really gained an appreciation for New York, and really like the direct conversation. I don't like people that beat around the bush. I just want to have a conversation with people about what is frustrating to them, what they're angry about, and why they got to how they got to. And not that we're always going to resolve our differences, but at least it's on the table to figure it out. But not everyone is going to always agree with everything, for sure. Anyways, that was a cool video.